So I want to make sure that everybody knows we're at Scaling New Heights, which is in St. Louis. This is one of our favorite conferences. It's rich with training. The titles of the sessions are killer, Heather. And our very own Heather Satterley is now part of the Woodard team at Scaling New Heights. So
Yay.
this is like for me to watch you right now. I can't tell you how overjoyed I am and just loving watching you soar.
Well, I got to tell you, I feel like I'm at home. I feel I'm exactly where I should be and so excited to be here with you. This community is amazing. This community has been part of my life for over 10 years and I am exactly doing what I love. So, but let's get started because we've got a very special guest with us today.
Very
So
special.
very special. We have Mike Triantos from Giraffe with us, and
Hi, everyone.
Giraffe has been an incredible partner to Appy Hour and to our community. We did our very first Appy Camp back in September of 2022. I'm like, what
Yeah.
year is it? And they were one of our sponsors there. Fantastic. They've done some really amazing things with our Appy Hour campers this year. They've held boot camps. They've really helped to elevate our industry to help us get across that advisory kind of wall where people kind of look at it and they go, advisory, can I really do that? And they have developed training to help accountants actually get there. And these firms are just knocking it out of the park. It's been incredible.
It's super exciting to see the success of the firms that are really starting to do this. And Joe talked about in his keynote, some of the controller services now that you guys are introducing, which aligns perfectly with this advisory services. And what I love what's happening on the shift right now at Scaling New Heights, we're not talking about the cloud a ton right now. It's moving into this advisory, or more importantly for how we see it is financial storytelling, right?
100%.
That's what it's all about. Being able to tell a compelling financial story to your clients.
Right. And you guys have this incredible session, and I know I'm going out of order and I'm sorry. She gave me an order and I'm like,
let's
right.
scrap that.
I'm just going to scrap it. You guys are doing a session on Wednesday morning at 7:45. Oh my goodness. It is about financial storytelling, and it's going to be, can you tell us a little bit about it? I don't want to steal your thunder. So
Well,
tell folks what to expect, because you have rock stars there.
Yeah. Well, when we first got together, and I'm saying it's myself, as well as Martin Zich and Corey from Growth Lab and Don Brolin. In our first brainstorming session, we said, let's do something completely different.
Love that idea.
Let's teach and show how we can financial storytell. So what we're doing is a competition between the three of them. So
Amazing.
they have 9 minutes to tell their best compelling financial story to the audience, and then the audience gets to vote on who wins.
Can I ask a question?
That's gonna be tough.
It is, but I gotta ask this question. That had to be Don Brolin's idea.
It's actually mine.
It was?
Yeah, I'm not gonna, I don't want to take all the credit, but
She loves contests.
I didn't want to go up there and just do a panel, right? I
Right,
want to do
right.
something a little bit different. So I thought this would be a great way to do it.
Well, I can't wait for that. So, oh my goodness. So, and then Ron Baker and Ed Kless just happened to walk by.
We're live. We're live.
We are totally live. That's what happens at Scaling New Heights.
Yeah, so we're in the hallway right now, and we're seeing a lot of the people who are going back and forth between different sessions and the exhibit hall. The exhibit hall is killer this year.
Gosh, did you see how many awesome technologies are
Oh,
out there
gosh.
supporting this community? I mean, cannot believe how much it has grown over the last 7 years, 8 years when I first started going to Scaling New Heights.
It absolutely has. And I don't know if you've heard, but the number of new attendees this year
What is that number?
is really refreshing.
Do we know?
It's close to 40%.
That's a lot. 40% is a lot.
That is great.
And it's exciting to see faces that I've never met before, because they're coming in with I don't know what to expect from this.
Yeah.
They're going to sessions, which I kind of like that. Yesterday was our first day of going to sessions.
Mhm.
And then today is the first day of the exhibit hall. So I can't wait to see just how wowed they are
Yeah.
whenever these first time attendees walk in there.
But Woodard does such a good job of really creating a great experience for the first time attendees. Get them really acquainted with the conference, what to do, how to be successful at the conference. And so other conferences don't do that.
I keep telling Joe, Liz mentioned that I just joined Woodard, back in October, and watching him behind the scenes, it's surreal how amazing, what a visionary he is.
Yeah.
It's just really cool. He does a great job, and the team here is fantastic. I feel really lucky, but you're right. I mean, we've come back. I've been here over 10 years, and it's because there's something here that's super special.
Yeah.
Talking about special, and I know Heather, you brought it up, Appy Camp, but one of the things that our community has really needed is the financial story that you're talking about. So being able to have tools to help us with that, it takes time to learn. It takes time to not only get into the mindset of how do I advise my clients, but how do I use the tools?
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit more about boot camp and what happened there? Because there's some crazy magic.
Well, the inspiration behind the boot camp came from the inspiration with Appy Camp, with you two. We started it off with that what if question, right? And that was the inspiration of myself and Dan from Growth Lab and Evan to put together the boot camp right afterwards. And we're super glad we did it. And we want to keep doing it right now. And the way we kind of look at it in terms of serving the community is when you look at Giraffe, just consider it to be a blank canvas. And it's all about really thinking through the strategy of your firm and being able to put your financials in there and then tell your firm story. That's what we really want them to do. And when Dawn talked today, what were her 3 main bullet points? It was about clarity for your firm, getting control of your firm, and then growing your firm. And that's what we're trying to achieve there with the boot camp.
Well, and there's so many that are here that want to be able to tell that financial story with their client, but they struggle with, how do I do it? How am I going to get that message across? Am I really the right person to do it? My gosh, what if I give them bad advice? But really, when you look at Giraffe, what you're looking at is the data that's already there. And then you can start digging into, one of my favorite features is the drivers. So
Yeah.
what am I doing and where do I want to shift? And you can really, zero in on what's going to be a possible projection that we can work towards. What could I change a little bit and tweak? And so that's why I think so many people walked away from boot camp, the ability to tell that story and felt empowered, and then yet they understand the software too.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
It's a good combination.
And you don't have to overcomplicate these models. You can be very simple around the revenue. You can be really simple around the expenses, really trying to get to your cash flow projections. And that's what you really want to be able to do. And then you can start really digging in on how you can change those, right?
Right.
What levers can you do to change those?
It's really exciting, and it is a play, we were hearing a lot about the formula that goes into creating a really impactful firm. So we talked about, the clarity, and I think Liz, you just touched on, the confidence issue of,
Yes.
Can I have these types of conversations with our clients? And I feel like, Joe, during his keynote, he was talking about, the pricing yesterday during his keynote, he was talking about how we have that equation wrong, right? It was the people times the, so that was really interesting. I think that's dead on, is that we have to change the framework of how we think about the value that we bring to our clients and think
100%.
about the value that we intrinsically as human beings have, and then overcome that and then give ourselves time with the data to begin to tell that story.
That's right.
And I love that you said that we should start with our own firms. I think that's exactly right.
Well, 100%. And I think, Ron talks about subscription.
Mhm.
Dawn talks about relationship pricing. And that's what it's all about, right?
Right.
You're billing for your relationship with your client. And what you do under this advisory is increase the number of touch points and relationships that you have with them every month and every quarter and every year.
Right.
Well, and I love the concept of relationship filling.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think about is emotional capacity. So how much of me, how much of our team is there to give away to each one of those clients before we're empty? We've got to be able to have tools, software that can help us with getting there quickly. We need support groups in order to know how to use that software and then also feel emboldened to actually speak it to our clients. And that's the piece that it takes practice. Like
It does.
nobody's going to get there perfectly overnight. It's a process and you just have to start it. And there's no wrong.
There is, and I think that you hit on a really important thing there, Liz, because it's really around, if you commit to it, then you're going to get that clarity. You're going to get control and you're going to get the growth that you want.
You need to practice.
yeah.
You need to practice. I mean, very few people got really good at something without putting the time and effort in to actually really learning the craft and getting comfortable with it. And when you continue to practice and start having those conversations, the first one is going to be a little tough, but then you're going to do it again and it's going to get easier
That's
and
right.
easier. And before you know it, it's going to be a second nature to you and you're going to,
Yeah. And that,
absolutely.
and that journey is going to take a year or so
Yeah,
to
totally.
do that.
It won't be
Yeah.
overnight.
It won't be overnight, which is actually a good thing because nobody really wants to suddenly have a different firm.
Right.
They just want to be able to have a more reaching firm. And I think that one of the things that we've all experienced is we see the growth in tech. And that's very fast moving. But the other part is that we have learned we need each other. So it's the people part that I think most people are starting to feel like they need. And so that's the part where we're already connected. We're already doing so much for our clients that it's the human part to speak to them.
100%.
100%.
And this is what I love about our community. Everyone's willing to help each other out all the time. And that's what's so beautiful about it.
Well, I remember talking with you, Mike, so long ago, but I remember having a conversation with you and we were talking about Appy Camp and what you were going to be bringing to Appy Camp. And you said, we want to focus on the education. We want to focus on helping those, the community to become comfortable with that role. And you've done it and you guys have really come up with some education that is very profound and moves that needle. So kudos to you for putting that in.
And we're just on our journey, starting our journey too. There's
Yeah.
a lot to do for us and that we can do to continue to support the community. And we're
Right.
building out even more training later this year as well.
Oh, it's exciting.
Which is why we're going to be doing a couple of interviews with you. So, we want to be able to keep the message of what you're doing shared. And we will be sharing out in a couple of days some exciting news. So stay tuned for that. We want to make sure that you know that some more good, juicy stuff is coming. But Mike, thank you for joining us.
thanks.
Thank you for coming on to Happy Hour today.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having me.
And I'm really excited for those of you that are here at Scaling New Heights. We have a very special main stage presentation performance. I'm going to call it performance that's happening tomorrow morning. Thanks to you guys. So that's brought to us by Jarav.
That's
Thank
gonna
you.
be- That's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be
Yeah.
epic.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great
we're
session.
gonna have
So
a
stay
great-
tuned for that.
Yeah. So we're going to have an awesome session for that and come over to our booth and win some drumsticks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
drumstick. Love it. All right, Mike. Thanks so much.
All right.
Okay, so we are in the middle of the hallway and it's always fun whenever we start to have some people that are gathered up. And what we're going to be doing next is we're going to have another guest come on and join us. So we are very much looking forward to our next guest who's going to be joining us because this is the first time that they've ever been at Scaling New
That's right.
Heights. So a little bit of a drum roll here. We have someone joining us.
Fantastic.
Hi.
Yeah, welcome. So how is the conference going so far?
It's really fun. It's definitely interesting. Everybody knows each other. So you kind of feel like a new kid at school. But in a good way. Everybody's really friendly. So
That's
It's really nice.
fantastic. And the exhibit hall, I haven't even been in the exhibit hall yet. I think we just opened it up at 11, right? Is it? Yeah.
It looks great.
Oh, does it? Yeah.
does. Yeah, it does.
Fantastic.
Shiny and it's beautiful.
Awesome.
Absolutely. So Jane, you are joining us and you are with Forwardly
Yes.
and powered by
Powered by
Forward
Forward AI. Yes.
AI. Okay. And so what is exciting is seeing the new apps that join us every year at Scaling New Heights and are investing in the community. But for most people, they're going to be like, what does Forwardly do? So can you kind of give
Yes.
us a little bit of an intro, Jane?
Yes, so Forwardly is a really interesting solution. It's the only solution to the problem of how do you get paid quickly in North America? How do you get paid fast? Because traditional payment methods, ACH, checks, there's a delay. They require bank hours. You know, some companies like to say, oh, we offer instant payments. Realistically, that's not happening. It's more like instant if you're within bank hours and you're lucky. For us, we're different. We're using new technology and some older technology from both the clearinghouse through their RTP solution and then through the Federal Reserve's upcoming FedNow service to basically make it so that businesses can be accepting payments within 15 seconds.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
know.
Wow.
I know that's a bit of a lead up. I know it's a bit of a lead up, I'm sorry. But long story short, payments within 15 seconds. That's what it comes down to.
That's amazing.
Right. So
Yeah.
we're familiar with that with like Cash App. We're familiar with, you know,
Mhm.
personal.
Venmo.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's something that we're using individually, but this is business.
So
instant
this is
payments.
business
That's
instant
the
payment.
distinction.
It is the distinction. And I mean, obviously you're coming at it from a different perspective, right? Because when you're a person transferring person to person, it's a bit more easy, you know, when it's a business, oh my God, there's the accounting solutions, there's the regulatory aspect, and that can make it a little more friction, you know, there's some friction. So we're doing what we can to make it easier for small businesses to go ahead and take advantage of the payment solutions and the technology that's in place and very often developed for, you know, for consumers, but
So
hasn't-
you're giving the infrastructure that they need to make sure that for businesses. it
well, the
works.
infrastructure is already there. It's just nobody is developing for it.
That's amazing.
Right.
So
And I mean, part of that is because the FedNow service, it is only starting next month. Like, you know, it's being released next month. So, but you know, the Clearinghouse's RTP network has been around since 2017. So
Mhm.
no business solutions have come up for that yet.
interesting.
Well, and you know, I hear you saying this is a shift here in the US, but this is not a new thing in other areas. This is a
No.
US is actually catching up. So this is not new technology. It's just new to us here.
Absolutely. It's super, it's new to Americans, definitely for sure. But I mean, the first real-time payment solution actually came about in the 70s in Japan. So it's been around for actually decades. You know, UPI in India, very popular. The fast solution in the UK, also huge. You know, Europe has caught up quite a bit. They're a bit further along than we are. But
Not
you know,
surprising.
not surprising at all. No.
Surprising. Like we still have checks.
We still have checks. Checks is kind of a dirty word now. You're so that check. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially handwritten.
Right.
Oh my
Handwritten
gosh,
checks.
don't even say that. No,
Right. Right.
shh,
No, shh, shh. Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah. Well, that's super exciting. So you guys are here. What booth are you in here
So
at
we're in
Scaling?
booth 165. We're actually just inside the entrance on the right.
Fantastic.
Well, and you know, I think that the application, so people are now going, okay, instant payment, I get it because of Venmo and I get it because of Cash App. So we're familiar with it. Even Facebook has something similar. But what application are you expecting the instant payments to be used for?
Well, I mean, any business that is currently invoicing their clients and accepting payments digitally, you can be accepting them faster. That's just what it comes down to. If you're accepting credit cards online, like, and you're allowing your clients to pay you through credit card, you know, I work with a lot of vendors and with a lot of, I mean, I should say I'm a vendor of a lot of companies, and often I get that, you know, I get the direct deposit form and they'll say, oh, by the way, if you want to pay by credit card, I'll boost it by 3.5%.
Right. Right.
And what I'm saying is with our app, it's 1% plus $1 per transaction, capped at $10.
Wow.
Keep it on par with, you know, QuickBooks payment, that kind of thing.
Sure.
On par with all those. We also auto reconcile with QuickBooks Online and Xero. And I'm saying that you don't need to say that 3%. You can just bake it into your,
Just bake it
Yeah,
in.
bake it in.
Right. Because you're the
Right.
time value of money, you're getting it
exactly.
right
And you
on
know
hand.
that payment is going through within,
Immediately.
I believe it's legislated to within 60 seconds.
60
So-
seconds. Oh
And
my gosh.
Realistically, when we put through the first payment in like early version of the app a while ago, and I was sitting there and we were in this demo and we were streaming it online and I was watching it and it just went through and it was so anticlimactic because we were just sitting there watching. It was like, oh, processed. Like we,
love
like
that.
I felt later, I should have had fireworks. I should have had like, maybe a flock of doves be
Right.
released behind my
Yeah.
computer after. It wasn't, unfortunately.
So,
not
I
it.
mean, it seems to me like this is something that is gonna literally transform the way that we do business. And you're on the forefront of it. So,
Yes.
wow.
It's super exciting. So I wonder, so logistically, so what are some of the ways that people are using it? I'm thinking field services. Is there a tie-in? Is there a link? Is there a QR code? Like, how are people actually getting the link out to their clients to pay?
So what we do and what we say is that our app is AR focused. So we're entirely focused on getting paid fast. So what happens is you're in your, you create your account, you connect your accounting software. So either QuickBooks Online or Xero. And then we're basically going to go into your software. We're going to find unpaid invoices. We're going to say, hey, this person owes you money. Do you want to send them a payment request?
What? So AR
Right.
management too?
So AR management.
Yes.
So, yes. So,
And you can't create the invoice from within our platform. That, to be clear,
Right.
we're not trying to compete. We're not trying to make invoices. But if there is an invoice, it'll say, here's your list of unpaid invoices or outstanding invoices. And here is your request to pay. And, we're looking into different ways to expand on that eventually. One day I hope to have a QR code that's sent on an invoice that will just automatically generate that. We only launched 3 weeks ago. We're going to work towards those kinds of things. But basically that's the process. You click the button, it sends them an email. It says, hi, you owe this money. Pay like you've been sent an invoice through Forwardly. Go pay. And all they have to do
Fantastic.
is go ahead and pay.
Go
That-
ahead and
Yeah,
pay.
I
Go
mean,
ahead and
to
pay.
be clear, they do have to, your client will have to create an account. They do have to do some kind of
Process.
verification,
Right.
right? Come on, we're moving money. There are fraudsters out there. There's money laundering. We do have to combat all that. We have to stay
sure.
financially regulated. That's what I mean about the regulatory aspect of this, right? That's why a lot of businesses have said it's not worth creating this because there is red tape. But you know
Right.
what? It's one-time red tape. You fill that in, you create your account, you verify yourself. You only have to do it once.
Right.
And then you have access anytime.
And then you have access.
That 24/7 24/7, 365, you have access to those instant payments. So
Well, and I think that, we're all familiar with the way that instant payments works and you need an account and we get it. And the idea is that once somebody is using something like one of these other instant payment apps, you get familiar with it and it becomes the norm.
yes.
Oh, can I cash app you? Oh, can I forwardly you? So that is one of those that is something that you're definitely on the front end of,
Yes.
for sure.
I mean, by the end of, eventually I want people to start say, I'm thinking forwardly.
Oh, I love
And
that.
I do like my puns.
Yeah.
I'm
Totally.
a big fun person. So for me, that's my thing. So I'd love for people to say hey, I'll pay via forwardly. That's my goal.
That's
I'll
fantastic.
forwardly ya.
Yeah, I'll forward
forwardly
you.
you. I'll
I'm
forward
gonna
you.
be
Yes.
stealing that one too.
Yes. No.
You'll see that on our
Fantastic.
next ad. As heard on QB.
As,
Right.
as
Yeah.
her like QB
Happy hour,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Well, this is so exciting. And I think that people are really going to benefit from this. It's another tool in our toolbox, but it's one that is going to significantly help our clients with their cash flow. And my mind is kind of running through like all the ways that we could leverage this technology to help our clients get paid faster through discounts to get them to adopt Forwardly
Mhm.
so that we can get our money faster and our clients can get their money faster. So love that.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, and 1% plus $1, I mean,
Right.
that's extremely competitive.
Very competitive.
So
That was the word we used too.
yeah, I think that that's going to be attractive
Yes.
to a lot of people and an incentive to switch because, change is always hard,
Mhm.
but it's kind of like, I know I keep throwing out some of these other instant apps, but it's because when I first heard somebody say, can I pay you via one of these other apps? It was new. And now it's just like,
It's
we have them
just-
all like, so to move into a business spot is definitely a smart place to go.
So I'm excited, we're excited to have Forwardly as an Happy Hour sponsor. And the really good news for all of you is we're going to do a deep dive. So you're going to be able to see how this works, how to set it up, how to leverage it in your firm and help your clients. And I can't wait. I literally am like, I want to do it now. So super excited.
I'm excited too.
Well, I thank you for investing in our community and to be here. Because
Yes.
I know that that truly is, and it's an investment whenever a sponsor comes in to an
Mhm.
event like this, there's all of the logistics. So our community is lucky to have you. Thank you for being here and thank you for coming on Happy Hour today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great to be here.
And we're gonna have to come up with a drink name.
Yes, I'm-
Absolutely.
I have high hopes.
All right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exciting.
All right. So stay tuned for that too. All right, everybody. Thank you so much, Jane.
All right, so I think that that's kind of like our wrap right now. We have a lot of things that are happening here. We have people who are moving through the hallway. There's classes soon, and
And we have
so
prom dresses.
we
so there's
do-
a prom tomorrow.
Ah,
And if folks are going to prom and you need a dress, we are your fairy godmother. That's what Liz and I are doing for you. We've got the dresses. They're all right here. Come and find a dress. They're free. You can wear it. You can go to prom and then bring it back and we're going to donate it to a local charity that will sell it and the proceeds will go to help women in crisis. So come get your prom dress.
yes, I love that. Women in crisis. I love that it's also got a good cause that's behind it.
Absolutely.
So bye to all of you. See you all soon, and thank you for tuning in.